Hi, I'm Matt Goss and I'm here at the Wellington Barracks opposite the beautiful Buckingham Palace. My day is going to be filled with talking to the veterans and military serving personnel, and it's going to be very interesting for me because I get to hear their perspective on military life and life outside of the military. We also are putting a pen in the map to acknowledge the launch of the new single for the Not Forgotten charity. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Watch this space. Well, my favourite biscuit is a Chocky D.
Digestive.
Chocky D, yeah. That's what we call them, Chocky
Digestive
Ds.
should have chocolate on them.
But the thing is that the hobnob, as they call it, the marine of all biscuits, don't they? Because you can really dunk that. But I like how when you dunk the Chocky D, you're going to lose it.
Definitely.
And military terms,
Never leave a biscuit behind.
Never leave a biscuit behind.
You count to like 3 or something and then take it out. And it won't dunk.
Well, it depends on the temperature of the tea.
Yeah.
If the tea's really hot, you've got one. I think you've got a good solid dunk, and then you've got to go for it.
Yeah, because you can't dunk in coffee. That's just wrong on every level.
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I do the bit of croissant in the coffee.
Yeah, that's okay. That's quite Parisian of you.
Yeah, it's Parisian.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's-
for your
yeah.
approval.
I just need to know as well, so when you're dunking the biscuit in the tea, is it from a tea bag or loose leaf tea? These are important details.
Are you asking me if I leave a tea bag in it? Is that what you're implying?
No.
I mean, that is incredibly uncivil. I didn't come here to be insulted. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't ever leave a tea
Leave them in
bag.
a tea bag.
No, you must always get rid of the tea bag.
And do you have a proper kettle that you boil the water in?
I have a Do you know I have a
Watch these
Bugatti.
TikToks.
I have a Bugatti.
Bugatti kettle.
Bugatti kettle, yeah.
That's just showing off.
No, it is actually. Go online. I swear to you, when you see it, you're going to get it. This is gorgeous. I just think that if you have something in your kitchen, get something that you love looking at, that you use all the time.
I didn't realise you made it.
No, it's a bit temperamental, but
Yeah, I do have a rocket Italian coffee machine,
of course you do.
but it comes in a flight case, so it's trapped. I can take it away in the horse box. I love
You
it.
got to try the croissant. A little bit of butter, marmalade. Oh, trust me. Try it. Try it out. It is very Parisian of me, isn't it?
Yeah, very Parisian, yeah.
I'll try that when you get home.
So what's your favourite biscuit?
Very boring, I'm afraid. Just rich tea.
Rich.
I think it's a perfect biscuit for a cup of tea. A cup of tea's too wet without one.
Well, I don't know. That's a little bit. That's definitely very temperamental dunk.
I like living on the edge.
I bet you do. I did hear that about you before. That was part of your brief.
Love
when you
that,
came in.
Yeah, living on the edge, yeah.
Yeah.
Danger is my middle name.
Danger is your middle name. is it?
Middle name, yeah.
What's your first name?
Ray.
So Ray Danger.
Ray Danger, yeah.
Ray Danger. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There it is. There it is.
Oh, wow.
That's very
I'm going to get
sweet.
one of those. How much is it?
300 quid.
Oh, well, I'm not going to get one.
Yeah, but how many times you use it all day, every day? And
Yeah.
Does it bring you joy?
it brings me joy.
Then that's all that matters.
The lid's a bit temperamental,
Oh.
but you know what? That's what's part of I love it.
Living
You're going to go
dangerously.
now, aren't you?
I am, yeah. It's a toss-up now of either having dinner at the Goring or buying a kettle.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's going to bring you joy.
yeah.
Mm.
Just drinks at the
More
Goring
often.
later, and then I'll buy a kettle on the way home.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Isn't that- I'm here to serve you.
Nice to have
Tea.
something back
and
here.
coffee.
Yeah.
So can I just say that you know me now, but we've come to know each other much better. But I'm so all of you have definitely affected the way I feel about being back in the UK. How you responded to the song, your beautiful gift that you gave me, your beret.
Pleasure.
I'm very touched in your story about your question about biscuits has shaped me for the rest of my life.
I know you're going to take that away with
I
you.
am, yeah. But I am really grateful for your time. And can I ask you, I was very moved what you said. I didn't realize how unseen you felt, and I feel like that's part of the thing that drives me, certainly for yourself as well. And it was when you said you didn't feel very seen, and you're at home. And can you just let people watching know what you've been through a little bit? And
Yeah, I've had particularly difficult few months. My beautiful sister, as you know, she passed away in August. She would have come to me to the Not Forgotten events. And I don't, when she passed away, I mean, I've done a lot of counselling and stuff. I was injured in the army.
I think people don't know what your injury was if you're...
Okay, so I was shot a number of times whilst there. And it was a difficult time. She was there for me when I was injured. And she's been there for me ever since. And then 3 years ago, very sadly, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I moved 3 doors down from her. We were best friends as well as sisters. And very, very sadly, in August she passed away. And I found it really, really hard, Matt. It was really, really hard. I didn't think it would affect me as much as it did. And sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed. You know, my son was cooking for me. I really, really, really struggled. And then when Rich sent me a text to say, listen, Matt Goss has written this amazing single for us. We'd like you to be a part of it. And then I played the demo. It was just within seconds. I went, I've got to come up. I've got to kick myself up the arse and, you know, get up to London and be part of this, because she would have wanted that for me. And it was like it was written in the stars. The words that you wrote resonated with me so much. The second song, where the second paragraph rather, where you said about the daughters walking down the aisle without their mum. I've got 2 beautiful nieces that my sister left behind, and you know, for me, it just really, really means, I can't even begin to tell you how much this means for me to be a part of. And for what it means, I know we don't know each other, but it's almost like we had an immediate connection. And I just want to thank you so much for everything that you've done for me personally, and you don't even know what you've done for me. So I just want to say thank you.
I'm so grateful and honoured, and I do feel that, you know, meeting you guys has changed my life too. I mean, I've done a lot of work with the troops around the world, but certainly my grandfather, my father, and being in service, and I feel that people's misconception is that it's everything. When we talk about the veterans, it's only war-based, and it's the biggest. It's probably the smallest part of being a soldier, and meeting you, and you went through incredible injury and have come through the other side, and you came in the room when I first met you, and your courage and your strength, and also your humour, just really, really like settled my nerves and made me truly connect to why I wanted to be involved with the Not Forgotten. And you know, and yourself, you gave me your beret, and you have to know that when I leave, I do take a lot of what you tell me, and your gratitude like truly moves me, and your ability to be so eloquent the other day at Rack Studios, and kind of telling everybody off for a second to say, listen to me.
Just took R&P.
But it was just really, really, you know, you really mean the world to me, and your gratitude is humbling to me. So thank you, my love.
Well, thank you, Matt, for shining the light on all of us as veterans, because we need people like you, because without people like you, people kind of forget a little bit about us. And if it wasn't for organisations like the Not Forgotten, I would not be where I am today. And through the Not Forgotten, I've met amazing people like Jules, and recently like Ray. We've become good friends. We're going to something tomorrow together, and that's what it's about. It's about...
Is it biscuit cabbage?
Don't want to make you jealous. Yes.
We didn't get an invite. No. I see how it is.
Well, yeah, you know, if people like you didn't do what you do for us, then we wouldn't have the opportunities that we have.
I feel like you also allow me to make my job so much easier, because when you're honest about how you feel and how you feel slightly unseen and slightly invisible, like how do you feel about that? I mean, I feel like this country needs to. We do need to shine a gentle light on this, in the fact that it's not about being pro-war. It's about being our soldiers should be safe in times of peace, and that's when it's not hypocritical. Because I don't feel like I'm sitting there, I need you guys. I want the fact that you're safe is important to me. So do you feel that
I agree, and I don't. Yeah, I agree completely that it just needs that, and it's not. And what's so good about the Not Forgotten is that it's not just about the injured veterans. It's about every veteran, which is really important. We may have been injured, but that doesn't mean that we're any more important, deserve any more support than every single veteran. And not every veteran is pro-war either. There are a million reasons why people joined the armed forces, and especially in the era that we joined them before us, it's because that was one of the prime jobs, or the only jobs that there were for people. So we joined, and we were injured, but
people don't know you're injured, if you don't mind.
No, so I was injured in Bosnia. I was in the intelligence corps and injured in Bosnia. It's a progressive injury that means that I now am a part-time wheelchair user, and that's tough.
You kind of run me over all the time every time I see you. You do purposely run over my feet.
It's my way of getting your attention.
Is that what it is? It's working.
Yeah. And that's progressive disabilities, which I think a lot of veterans have, because you get your original injury and then it's the years afterwards where there isn't necessarily the medical support that you then need.
Right.
And that's tough to navigate, and that's when we feel like we can become forgotten.
Right.
And that's what both the charity and this amazing single that you've done are giving us validation, which I don't think we get a lot of. And I have a 27-year-old daughter who doesn't believe in war and fighting and hates the army with a passion. And that's kind of the generation.
But maybe that's also because, I'm just speculating obviously, but maybe that's because her mum's injured.
Oh, it's definitely personal
She
for her.
might not see a lot of support outside of Not Forgotten, this wonderful charity.
Yeah.
And
it was her. I went skiing with the Not Forgotten in February, and it was life-changing. It was amazing. I've never skied before. I learned to sit ski, and they gave me an opportunity that showed me that even with my disability, I can still achieve things.
Yeah,
and I've sat for 20.
Kind of scary.
Middle name's dangerous.
I mean, I was like, they're dangerous.
But that opportunity was just amazing, and I went skiing in a snow dome yesterday, and I would never have done that previously because I wasn't confident enough. I've lost my confidence in my abilities, and I'm getting them back.
I think as well, people say, well, Matt, why are you doing it? I'm like, well, it isn't really it's nothing for me. It's really nothing to do with the song. It's to do with these situations where, you're out, and we're all out together. We're in central London today. We've all got dressed up, and and then more things happen. Other things happen. You guys are going out. I just feel like that's the whole point. It gets people back into the game,
it's that
right?
camaraderie which you lose because we all, go to the different ends of the earth and the country and everything, and we don't stay in touch. But this is camaraderie. We've really felt that, haven't we? We've
absolutely
got a lot from each
connection,
other.
Good connection.
And it's
friendship
great.
is really comforting.
We only met each other in Rexton.
We met because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that flattery will get you over
No.
And yourself, my friend.
Oh, well, I got involved with the Not Forgotten after I'd had a terrible 2013. Firstly, I was arrested at the top of Beachy Head, attempting to do my Airborne 3s course without a parachute. After a 2-year struggle with my mum's passing, got over that, and then literally 8 weeks later was diagnosed with throat cancer, and I just turned that into a bit of a sense of humour event, and just tried to take humour into everything that I did with all my treatment and with all the staff in the amazing NHS. And 2014 I was introduced to the Not Forgotten Association at a track day at Brands Hatch through another event I was doing, helping a friend out. The following year, 2015, I went back to meet a guy who runs the event, and then I put my name down to become a beneficiary, and then went back to the Brands Hatch event. But for me, seeing and being part of this community of like-minded people is the most beneficial type of therapy anybody can give you.
Yeah.
I went to have a session with a therapist in town for a couple of flashbacks and an issue I had from my tour in Bosnia. When my daughter went to the beach, she got stung by a jellyfish, and she just come running out of the sea, screaming this high-pitched tone that I hadn't heard since I was in Bosnia. And straight away my mind switched, and I was like, threat, where is it, who is it, how do I deal with it? And she's running up the beach, and I'm like, right, she's safe, she's away, right, where is it, who is it? And just because she got stung, but she was on that level that was tucked away in the back that I'd forgotten about.
Right.
And I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't put it back in the box. So I went and got some help for it. And last year, when all the atrocities were going on in Palestine and Israel, I just couldn't watch the news. I cannot sit there and I cannot watch all this destruction and all these people, because it just takes me back to a place where I want to forget.
Right.
So for me, the Not Forgotten have brought me together with so many amazing people that I can talk about things, I can get off my chest. People then talk back to me. And what I've found is once you allow somebody to engage with you and to gain your confidence, they will just open up.
Right.
And it's really good for them, and it's really good for you. I'm trying to support the charity as best as I can by donating items for auction at black tie events and stuff like that. And my good friend Harry Winter, who I absolutely adore, he's, for me, he's the epitome of a hero. Like, I look up to this guy because not only of what he's done in his service and being shot down, but how he's just so open and so warm and so kind to everybody. He just has this little protective nature, and I love it. And if I could be half the person that he is, I'll be happy.
Right.
But for me, the Not Forgotten settled me, if that makes sense. Because I could easily have gone back to a phase where I felt I was the problem, and if I removed myself from that situation, I would have sorted it. When in reality, all you're doing is you're creating other issues that people will then carry for the rest of their lives.
But I also feel like you guys agree, like I've been through some very traumatic things in my life. When you speak to someone, because I was diagnosed with, I had PTSD about my mother's passing, she vomited blood on me, and it was blood everywhere, and the smell of iron, and very, very traumatic. And then when I went to the cognitive therapist, I felt very ashamed of that. I have no right to have PTSD because I associated it with soldiers. But then they said to me, well, if you were in the trenches and your best friend next to you vomited blood all over you, would you think that was valid? I would be like, yes.
Is trauma.
And the reason why it resonated with me, because every time I closed my eyes, I couldn't get rid of that projectile moment of and that was my mama. You know, it was like, and it all kind of something clicked, and like what you guys and PTSD, what you guys go through, and I was like, well, okay, as you say, trauma is trauma, and I feel like the common denominator here is when we're all being heard and we're like-minded people and we feel seen, there's something very, very reassuring about that. It's a kind of a company, if you like. You're not alone, and you feel like, and I do feel, even myself coming back to the UK after being in America for 25 years, that I am a sensitive soul, but I'm a strong man. You know, I'm proud of being a strong man, able-bodied man. But I also love sensitive people, and I love kind people, I love conscious people. And coming back to the UK, I do feel like we should explain that there is a need for just being a bit more patient, a bit more, you know, the kindness around you guys. Like, I want you to be seen and heard. I certainly want, when you tell me, it breaks my heart that you had to force yourself to get back in the game, but now you're back in. You've got, I would imagine, friends for life in all of us. It's a very simple fix if we all kind of just, ask, can we just take our time a little bit more and shine a bit more light? It really irritates me, if I'm honest, that people think that the military is just a war-based organisation. It's when people have careers, carpenters, high-tech industry, medical, like people that engineer, horse breeding, and the lady, that veteran I met before, she plays football all over the world. I think it's such a healthy option for kids that don't know what they want to do, and I think that,
it's a great way of getting some expertise and a career now. It isn't, I don't think anyone really joins the services to go and fight a war. I don't think that's what it's all about anymore.
I joined to travel the world and get pissed, basically. That's the reason I joined. And to be fair, the RAF said no, because I went up from school, and the RAF said no, I want to be a PTI in the RAF, and they went, no, come back when you're 18, you got 2 O levels. I was like, really?
Are you patriots?
100%.
Me too.
Yeah. I fly my flag.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's another part of the dialogue that is a terrifying. Certainly, if you're in the entertainment business, but if my delivery of my feelings is done with kindness and respect, then I don't feel that they can kind of bombard or bully me and try and change my opinion. And that is that it's okay to love tradition. It's okay to love the traditions of my grandfather, my grandmother, my father, my mother. And I think sometimes the rhetoric around that, they want to try and change the message into a bigoted space, which is really unfortunate and really quite manipulative. And I just feel like being around soldiers that love their country.
Yeah, it's about, a lot of it's about respect, though, isn't it? And that we can respect everybody else's different choices.
Of course.
And we've all been to countries that we possibly didn't understand and agree with everything that was going on, but we still respected everybody that was there. And I think that's all we would ask for, really, as well, is just the respect. What I love about this charity so much as well is that you're saying about you compared yourselves to veterans with PTSD, but this charity doesn't ever do that. It's non-judgmental.
I felt almost ashamed that I felt I didn't have the right to have PTSD.
Yeah.
I felt like only a soldier would have that right, or and I was like, and it was, but it allowed me to understand that when you close your eyes or you see a film, your body goes out, into a certain place, and it gave me more of an understanding. I think I would never compare myself to being a soldier, but the understanding of that emotion must be like, and obviously much more extreme than what I experienced. But
I think that shows through, Matt, in your song. Without you probably knowing it. Like, we as veterans, we've been in the military, we've done some amazing things, we've got some fabulous qualities. But I think we also forget those qualities that we once had, we've still got.
Of course you do.
And I think what your song has done is, for me personally, it's made me sort of reflect back and go, actually, I am still that person. I forgot about me. For you to sort of put those words out there saying you are not forgotten, it almost made me think about myself, my former self.
Right.
And remember what I've still got in me and what qualities I have. And I think
Amazing.
you can say that for
It's
everybody.
powerful.
It really is powerful. I don't think you realise the song and the words that you've written they resonate with so many different people in different situations.
As a songwriter,
it's
that's
incredibly powerful.
That's everything for a songwriter. That's like you can't imagine what that means to me as a songwriter.
I think as well for the military community, when we go away on deployments, music is our go-to.
Right.
We use it when we're exercising, we use it when we're chilling, and we send messages back via music to our other halves about the mood that you're in at that stage. And a lot of it, for me especially, was I used to send a load of love songs and that sort of stuff because that's how I get my passion out.
Lover, not a fighter.
Well, push the right buttons. Depends what goes pop and what goes bang.
He is hitting.
I think you should get rid-
He is hitting on you just so you know.
But yeah, I think
I
also
feel like you set yourself up for the
I think I set myself up all the time.
You really it's just put yourself in the fire in
My own worst enemy.
No pun intended.
Just
but to
sabotage
see
myself.
somebody like yourself write a song with so much passion that
Yeah.
we can all
Yeah.
associate with is just, it's mega. I couldn't watch the video when we were at Rack Studios, which is what the photo that's going around. I'm sat there with my eyes closed because I'm in a different place.
The emotional cat.
Yeah, and I was literally on the verge of just falling apart.
Right.
And I didn't know enough people at that time to do that.
Yeah.
And that's another hurdle I have to deal with in my way. But I'm in awe of that song, and I really hope it does so well.
Well, even if it, I mean, what is the definition of well anymore? Like, I think it's already done well.
It's already done
The
well.
fact that
Yeah.
I've got people like yourself saying, you know, for me, I've been constantly saying I don't want it to have anything really to do with Matt Goss. I want it to be military, and I really mean that. Like, if you know, 70 churches have now requested the music, which is quite beautiful, and I think it for me it gets to shine a light on another side, which is being prideful of our country and being prideful of having a robust military, and also, but certainly not in times of conflict, in times of peace, because then I feel like the hypocrisy around it really bothers me. Otherwise, everyone can love the army if we need them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's times like now when you really know that the forces are safe and they're training, and that's where you want them to be safe, and God forbid you do need the quote unquote the might of the military, then that's not the time to love them. It's the time obviously it is, but the time to love them first and foremost is in time of peace. And I think that you guys bring, for me at least, so much. You personify what I love about the country, like the dedication to the country, to the king, to the and just that sensibility. You know, I make my bed every single day because of military teaching, you know, like I do, because it's one of the things that I always make my bed. I always get ready, like my grandfather Harry. I always get ready as if I was going out, and even if I'm feeling super low, and there are times when I feel super low, but I get ready, you know, I still can't afford one of these shirts, but if I can, one day. But like, you've got some swag, my friend. But like, I think getting ready for a man, certainly for a man, I think getting ready is like, it changes everything. I go for a walk, I get ready, and it just resets my mind, and I just feel like there's a lot of things in what the military stand for that resonates within me as a gentleman, I guess.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
Being around us, being around the Not Forgotten, what impact have we had on you? Because when I first met you, I certainly felt an immediate connection with you. I'm an empath, so I tend to feel as well as, you know, feelings as well as talking to people. And I think in the Not Forgotten, sometimes you don't have to have conversations. You can just feel safe because you know that other people have been through the same things. you know, and I read a little bit about your history, and so I had that feeling that you were one of us anyway. But how has it impacted you in a positive way, hopefully?
Yeah, it's a beautiful question. I think that there's been many environments that I've been in, even with the forces in the States. A couple of Navy SEALs, a gentleman was having his vascular system re-educated, being sewn to his rib cage so that there could actually be blood, re-educate all his vascular system in his arm, and he got blown off of a bridge, and you know, there was a lot went down, it was tears and all kinds of stuff, and this is a Navy SEAL, you know, and he gave me an honour coin. I've got many honour coins, and then a year later he says, I'm going back here, and the big Chinook landed on this Skype call and there's dust everywhere, and he said, I love you, man. And I gave him a solid gold coin that I had made in India, and it actually happened to have Ganesha on it, which is the removal of all obstacles. And I gave it to him, and he's like, is this your gold? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, look man, I got it, bro. That was a really moving thing. So to move forward to you guys is like, it's kind of an obsession emotionally for me when I hear you guys speak, that you're such beautiful people, like truly beautiful, sensitive souls. And again, another big misconception, you know, you're all hoorah, you know, like no emotion. I want you to be seen.
Saying we're not.
I want you to be seen. I want you to be heard. I want you to be joyful. And more importantly, actually makes me quite emotional, I want you to feel respected. You know, as a proud Englishman and a very proud Brit, I want our military, like when I'm in America, to say, thank you for your service. You know, and that feels natural to me because maybe it's the way I was raised. But as a proud Englishman and a proud Brit, I feel like I want you to know that when you walk out there, if you were to wear that medal in any shape or form, there's an immediacy about that respect. I feel like if I had my way, that's what will happen. So your impact on me is profound. It's not just a conversation. I think about you, and I think about your body changed because of your injuries. Your body changed and your body's changed. It's like, but you function in such a dignified way, in an elegant way, and I feel like, ironically, if there's anything I can do, then if I can move the dial 5% and pass the baton to somebody more powerful than me, and then that my wish would be that the military is very much like the US, where you have such pride when you see a soldier, and rather than this. Listen, I love the sarcastic kind of side of the UK, but the side that I don't like about the UK is a slightly jealousy culture. If you just see somebody in a nice car, say, hey man, nice car, man. That's what they say in America. If you see a soldier or any serviceman or woman, to say, you know, take the moment, pull your car, thank you for your service, or shout it out the window. So you feel like there's a reason. Not that I know you've all got your own personal reasons for putting yourself in harm's way and also serving your country, but I would love you to, on a daily basis, an hourly, minute by minute basis, when you go out there, feel very loved and seen and heard. So,
thank you.
I mean that deeply. You know.
Yeah.
Because I love you guys. You know, that's as simple as that. I love you guys. You know, and I care. Like, you know, I'm
and that's
getting there.
really obvious. It is really obvious, and I mean, I, for one, am incredibly grateful. 14-year-old me was obsessed with you. And I'm trying not to be quite so obsessed now because I'm an adult and have to.
Okay, but you've got this biscuit fetish. We always join each other's vibes on the biscuit fetish, so I'm seeing you eye to eye here. Yeah.
I just think the whole thing is just, you know, as I said earlier on when we came down the stairs, you know, it's just surreal. Like you had the posters on the wall, and there I am in a stairwell with.
How many posters did you have?
Well, I can't tell you.
I bet I had more.
But for you to, for me, what's surreal is that you say that, and I'm honoured that you love the band, and it was weird, some of the best times, all of us.
No,
then you've gone. I'm kind of deflecting if I can.
There's no eyes.
But then you go off and you go and these brave souls, and you just because I remember obviously all that you crazy bunch, and just and then you go up and do these brave things, and it's a full circle, like a full circle of admiration. And I'm honoured to be part of that circle, and if you are too, then we're in good shape.
Oh, you really
Well, I have to say, I was a bit behind the curve. I used to buy Vogue magazine as a young Marine. I never actually saw you in there, but I did actually see loads of pictures of Yasmin Le Bon, so I had to cut that out, and my walls were covered in Yasmin Le Bon.
Well, that's a fair thing.
And to be fair,
I would never want to compete with Yasmin Le Bon. I mean,
Come on, you had something like
you're
that
right.
as well.
it's gone warm in this room. Holy bangles! Seriously,
that's some good PTSD, right?
that is some proper good PTSD. Like my room, as a single guy, all my OCs, like my bosses in charge, if we ever had a visit, they'd always come to my room, because there'd be all these pictures cut out and put nicely. There'd be no like topless pictures and all that sort of stuff, but I had a mega sound system in my room, and everybody used to come to my room for like pre-drinks before we went ashore. So they always used to come to my and use my room as well. Yeah, look, this is how the lads live. It's like, no, this is how Julesy lives. He's totally different. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
well, if anyone watched it, well, you gave me your beret. So I
did, yeah.
Honoured to receive that gift.
And I was really touched by what you said at the Rack Studios about your connection with the US military, and how your grandfather was in the army and your father was a career police officer. So you've got that service background. And the beret that I gave you was the last beret I had in a very important part and phase of my service, taking recruits through. So for me, I was putting something back in the system. And I'm still in touch with a couple of the lads that I took through, and one of them, I'm going up to his end of service top table in August. And I'm very honoured and privileged to do that. But for me, I felt I wanted to give you my green beret as a way of saying thank you for what you are doing for us as not only beneficiaries of the Not Forgotten, but as veterans on the whole. And although it's a piece of cloth with a cap badge, it's not just that. It's the blood, it's the sweat, it's the tears, it's the longest basic infantry training of any armed force in the world. And it's the camaraderie that that beret brings, and it's the respect that that specific coloured beret and cap badge bring globally. So for me, it's really important to give that to you and make you part of the family.
Thank you.
Extended member of the family.
Thank you, brother. And likewise, you know that.
Yeah.
No, you've got to go down the bottom field.
But you don't. You ask me how. What you give back? It's like anyone. It's just impossible to put into words. It's not about hit record or any of that stuff. Like if it creates financial gain for the charity, then that would be phenomenal. And that's what I'd ask anyone watching, is to just in your community, is just tell them to stream it and download it, so that Richard and the gang really benefit. That's who we need to really. I think that's where we can all help, is that we just Listen, I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart, I think, and I truly mean it, that I feel this is just the beginning of our journey. But like you truly, the reason I'm here today is because I knew that I was going to see familiar faces as well. It's become familiar. And remember, I'm fresh off the boat after 25 years in the States, and me acclimating to this place I'm still in that process, but you guys make me feel a lot safer, and I feel like you got my 6 and I got your 6.
Definitely.
I kind of feel like you've definitely earned your place here now, back with us.
100%.
Really?
I definitely think you have, yeah.
Oh.
I think you'll always at home with us and they're not forgotten.
No. So thank you so much for watching. I've had the most beautiful day with these wonderful people.